Alexander the Great's Eastern campaigns represent one of the most ambitious military endeavors in history, culminating in his invasion of India. From his early victories in Persia to his encounters with local rulers in the Indian subcontinent, Alexander's journey not only expanded his empire but also facilitated significant cultural exchanges that would shape the Hellenistic world. This exploration examines the key events, challenges, and historical significance of Alexander's Eastern campaigns leading up to his journey to India. Background to the Eastern campaigns. The context of conquest. After successfully dismantling the Persian Empire through a series of decisive battles, Alexander turned his attention eastward, aiming to extend his dominion further into Asia. The conquest of Persia had provided him with substantial resources and military support, enabling him to pursue his ambition of a vast empire that spanned continents. Motivations for the Eastern campaigns. Desire for glory. Alexander's insatiable ambition drove him to seek out new territories to conquer. He aimed to surpass the achievements of legendary heroes, such as Hercules and Achilles, and establish himself as one of history's greatest conquerors. Revenge against Persia. Having avenged the Persian invasions of Greece, Alexander sought to assert his dominance over the remnants of the Persian Empire and expand his influence over the lands beyond. Exploration and cultural exchange. Alexander was not only a conqueror but also an explorer. His campaigns were fueled by curiosity about the peoples and cultures of the East. He envisioned a world where diverse cultures could coexist and enrich one another. Key campaigns in the East. 1. Conquest of Bactria and Sogdiana, 329 to 327 BCE. After securing Persia, Alexander moved into Central Asia, where he faced formidable resistance from local tribes. His campaigns in Bactria and Sogdiana were marked by both military confrontations and diplomatic maneuvers. Key events. Battle of the River Jaxartes, 329 BCE. Alexander fought against the Sogdian prince, Spitamenes, who led a rebellion against Macedonian rule. The battle showcased Alexander's tactical acumen and determination to secure his eastern frontiers. Siege of the Sogdian Rock. One of the most notable events during this campaign was the siege of a fortified rock stronghold in Sogdiana. Alexander's ingenuity in using his troops to scale the rock led to a decisive victory, establishing his authority in the region. Diplomacy with local rulers. In addition to military might, Alexander used diplomacy to win over local rulers. He often offered positions of power to those who supported him, which helped integrate the region into his growing empire. 2. The journey to India. By 326 BCE, having secured control over Bactria and Sogdiana, Alexander set his sights on the Indian subcontinent. His journey into India was marked by a series of significant encounters and battles. Key events. Crossing the Hindu Kush. Alexander's army traversed the treacherous Hindu Kush mountains, facing harsh conditions and difficult terrain. This challenging journey demonstrated the resilience of his troops and the logistical prowess of his leadership. Battle of the Hydaspes, 326 BCE. Alexander's most significant battle in India was fought against King Porus near the Hydaspes River. The battle was notable for the introduction of war elephants, which posed a significant challenge to Alexander's forces. Tactical innovations. Alexander employed innovative tactics to counter the elephants, including targeted strikes on the Mahouts and the strategic use of cavalry to outmaneuver the larger forces of Porus. Outcome. Alexander emerged victorious, but rather than annihilating Porus, he chose to reinstate him as a satrap. This decision underscored his approach to governance, emphasizing the integration of local rulers and customs into his administration. 3. Cultural exchange and legacy in India. Founding of cities. Following his victory over Porus, Alexander established several cities in India, promoting Hellenistic culture in the region. These cities served as administrative centers and hubs for trade, blending Greek and local cultures. Cultural syncretism. Alexander's campaigns facilitated significant cultural exchanges between Greek and Indian civilizations. The blending of ideas, philosophies, and artistic expressions enriched both cultures, leading to a unique synthesis that characterized the Hellenistic period. Philosophical and intellectual impact. The encounters with Indian philosophers and sages exposed Alexander's troops to Eastern thought, enriching the intellectual climate of the Hellenistic world. This exchange contributed to the philosophical discourse of the time and laid the groundwork for future cultural interactions. Challenges faced during the Eastern campaigns. Resistance from local rulers. As Alexander advanced into Bactria and India, he encountered fierce resistance from local rulers and tribes. This opposition tested his military strategies and highlighted the complexities of conquering culturally diverse regions. Logistical difficulties. The harsh terrain, climate, and supply challenges posed significant obstacles for Alexander and his troops. Maintaining morale and managing resources were crucial to the success of his campaigns. Troop fatigue and morale. After years of campaigning, Alexander's troops began to show signs of fatigue and reluctance to continue further into India. The desire to return home grew stronger among his soldiers, ultimately leading to the decision to turn back after reaching the Beas River. Conclusion: the impact of Alexander's Eastern campaigns. Alexander the Great's Eastern campaigns, culminating in his journey to India, were pivotal in shaping the historical and cultural landscape of the ancient world. His military conquests dismantled the Persian Empire and extended Greek influence into Asia, fostering significant cultural exchanges that enriched both Greek and Eastern civilizations. The legacy of Alexander's campaigns is reflected in the Hellenistic period, characterized by the blending of cultures, advancements in art and science, and the establishment of trade routes that connected diverse regions. His approach to governance, which emphasized respect for local customs and integration of cultures, set a precedent for future rulers. The significance of Alexander's campaigns in Indian history. Cultural interactions. Alexander's campaigns marked the beginning of significant cultural interactions between Greece and the Indian subcontinent. Although his stay was relatively short, the exchange of ideas, goods, and cultural practices laid the foundation for future interactions between the two regions. Influence on local governance. Alexander's policy of reinstating local rulers, such as King Porus, demonstrated a model of governance that respected local traditions while integrating them into a broader Hellenistic framework. This approach allowed for the preservation of local customs, which would later influence the governance strategies of subsequent empires in India, such as the Maurya Empire. Impact on Indian warfare and tactics. The encounters with Alexander's army introduced new military tactics and technologies, including the use of phalanx formations and cavalry maneuvers, to the Indian subcontinent. This exchange influenced local military strategies and contributed to the evolution of warfare in the region. 5. The return journey and its consequences. The decision to turn back. After reaching the Beas River, Alexander faced growing discontent among his troops, who were eager to return home after years of campaigning. The difficult terrain and the unfamiliarity of the Indian landscape contributed to their reluctance to proceed further into India. Understanding the morale of his troops, Alexander ultimately made the difficult decision to turn back. Crossing the Gedrosian Desert. The return journey through the Gedrosian Desert was fraught with challenges. The harsh environment took a toll on Alexander's army, leading to significant losses due to starvation, dehydration, and exhaustion. This brutal experience highlighted the logistical difficulties of maintaining an army over vast and inhospitable terrains. Cultural reflections upon return. Upon his return to Babylon, Alexander and his troops brought back not only riches from their conquests, but also cultural influences from the regions they had encountered. This included new ideas, religious beliefs, and artistic styles that enriched the cultural landscape of the Macedonian Empire. 6. The legacy of Alexander's Eastern campaigns. Cultural synthesis and the Hellenistic period. The campaigns established the groundwork for the Hellenistic period, characterized by the blending of Greek and Eastern cultures. This cultural synthesis influenced art, philosophy, and science, leading to advancements that shaped the course of Western civilization. Influence on subsequent empires. The political and cultural models established during Alexander's campaigns served as a blueprint for subsequent empires, particularly the Maurya Empire in India and the Roman Empire. Leaders and scholars in these empires drew inspiration from Alexander's methods of governance and cultural integration. Historical memory. The story of Alexander's campaigns, particularly his journey to India, has been romanticized in literature and historical accounts. His image as a larger-than-life conqueror and cultural integrator continues to capture the imagination, influencing how subsequent generations perceive leadership, conquest, and cultural exchange. 7. Conclusion. The enduring impact of Alexander's Eastern campaigns. Alexander the Great's Eastern campaigns, culminating in his journey to India, were pivotal in shaping the historical and cultural landscapes of both Greek and Asian civilizations. His military conquests dismantled the Persian Empire and opened the door to significant cultural exchanges that enriched the Hellenistic world. The impact of his campaigns extended far beyond the battlefield, influencing local governance, military practices, and cultural synthesis. Alexander's legacy serves as a testament to the transformative power of cultural exchange and the potential for unity among diverse peoples. As we reflect on the significance of Alexander's journey, we recognize the complexities of leadership, the challenges of cultural integration, and the enduring influence of human ambition in shaping history. His story inspires contemporary leaders to pursue understanding and cooperation across cultures, emphasizing the importance of embracing diversity in an increasingly interconnected world. In essence, Alexander's Eastern campaigns and the journey to India encapsulate a monumental chapter in history, highlighting the interplay between conquest and cultural exchange, and setting a precedent for future leaders to follow in the quest for knowledge, unity, and greatness.